watch, I guess.
Dude, when you were in school, did you have a teacher you absolutely hated?
Oh, many, yeah.
Which one do you think was the worst?
Well, I mean, kind of goes back, I don't know, like, just kind of mad at each other, I guess, because, like, I guess when it comes, like, right down to it, my principal, my junior high principal, was probably the worst I had to deal with, because I straight up punched him, and I had to get, I was on probation, got everything to do with it, so, I mean, it's probably him.
Why did you punch your principal?
Well, it was a long, ongoing thing. Like, me and him just butted heads and everything, and I wasn't, like, I don't know, I didn't really thrive in school, I guess. I didn't go for it. Anyway, but so I was always lax and stuff, and I kept getting in trouble. And anyway, I got an in-school suspension one time, so they just put you in this room, and there's nothing to do. You're sitting there with a desk, and you're just told to do your book work all day. You're in-school suspension, because they found out we like out-of-school suspensions, so I guess no big deal. So we did that, and I was in there, and I was sleeping, and I was just like, I was on my desk and everything, just laid down, and I was sleeping on my hands, and he came in, he goes, "Get up." And I was like, "No," like that. He just like walked over and he put his foot by the chair and shoved me off the chair, and like I went down on the ground, and I just stood up and cracked him. He just like shoved me off the table, so I just got up and just popped him, and I was gonna go back again, but then there's this other, he was the PA kind of guy there, Darren, and anyway, so he came like in there, he grabbed me, he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." So I just hit him like the one time. Immediately after that, like, when the town cop came up there and shit, and my mom and everybody, and they're like, "Well, yeah, so he's gonna be like expelled for this year," and so I was homeschooled for that year of school and everything too with my cousins. But yeah, like, it was a long ongoing thing. I just never liked the guy. Like, he was just a dick. I did not like him at all. And, like, he was like the only teacher that could crack. But I mean, obviously, I wouldn't just straight crack a female teacher. I mean, it was a little different, but still, was a guy, and he just kind of like physically threatened me, so I just cracked him.
I guess he kind of just dumped you on the floor.
Yeah, so like I just reacted and popped him.
Was he surprised?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, he seemed pretty stunned. Like I got him. He just kind of went back there. It's like, dude, I went back for another one. That's when the other guy grabbed me and pulled me back, and then they're both on me. I was just like, all right. And we're all done here, you know.
Oh, dude, that totally beats my story.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I thought I had a good story, but now even it just makes me feel like a bitch.
No, you're good.
I had a teacher, third grade when I was, third grade, and my mom and my aunt and my uncle had all had the same teacher because she has been teaching forever, and she hated them, apparently. Hated them, man, because since like day 2 of third grade, she was on my ass about everything. I mean, honestly, I probably deserved a little bit of it, but she was like extra mean to me for no reason. Like,
went above and beyond.
Yeah, above and beyond. One time, there was a meeting. My dad and my mom had scheduled a meeting because they were getting tired of her giving me attitude. Because my mom had her in school too, and apparently she was like that with my mom, aunt, and my uncle. And so I'm in class the day of this meeting, and I know my parents got my back on this. They've made it abundantly clear, so I'm happy. I'm a third grader that owns the world, and I'm just. It doesn't matter how mean she is that day. It just makes me happier because I know there's a reckoning coming at the end.
You're gonna get yours.
And I made it to about lunch before. I don't remember what it was that set her off. I think I had lost my homework, or I probably didn't do my homework.
It's somewhere here. It's in my dirty locker. I don't know.
No, I remember it was in my the planners that you have to keep.
Yeah.
It was in my planner.
Binder shit.
That was at my house.
Hot Wheel one.
No, I was poor. I had just the normal blue. I had blue, dark blue. But the night before that, I had stayed at my friend's house, and I left it there. And I went to school from his house the next morning, and I just forgot it there because we were playing video games all morning before we went to school. Yeah, it was third grade. And so she's yelling at me about my homework, and she's just going off for about 10 minutes, and I just couldn't help but smile halfway through her rant because I knew my parents were coming in that day, and she said something that I still think about when I get down. I still think about it. She goes, "That's okay. He can smile for now. This is in front of the class." She goes, "That's okay. He can smile now. But I'm meeting with his parents after school, and I will have the last laugh." And I got sent to the principal's office because I started laughing, and I was there until my parents came to meet with her. And then I had to sit outside the principal's office, and now to be honest, I'm kind of sweating because she was confident.
Yeah. Now you're like,
very confident.
Maybe she has some good points.
Yeah.
Maybe my parents are going to rethink this.
I was like, I'm pretty sure my dad for sure will have my back. 'Cause he's awesome like that. Yeah. My mom had her, so I'm sure that she knows that she's a bitch too. And so I'm out there for about 20 minutes, and she comes out and she's crying, and my parents come out that high and mighty, and the principal, her name was Dr. Floyd, best principal ever. She came out and we're like, "We're really sorry this has been going on," and they had like a list of complaints from other students about this teacher over the years. So she had to go to some like care training or something for 2 weeks. So we had a substitute for 2 weeks, and it was awesome.
When you came back, you just smile at her?
No, I don't think I did. I was third grade. I don't think I held grudges that long.
Oh man, as soon as you came back, I would have been smiling like last laugh, huh? So that I would have stood up in front of that class and like, "I want everybody to know I got that."
That was me. I'm sure it came up the next day at school and she wasn't there, because who's going to believe her? I can say whatever I want at this point. She's not there to defend herself.
Like, get bent.
Yeah, and that's when I think I really decided I wanted to run for president.
At that moment, I was like, I think I got a career in political gaming.
Yeah, I can work the system. It's perfect. You're not supposed to beat the teachers in arguments with parents.
Oh, I had a weird fact. Speaking of teachers, though, okay, we had a teacher too, but also the same teacher was my mom and uncle's teacher at Sadell. I think that was Sadell. And anyway, he moved down to Corden, which is ironically, and we went down there, and he was our teacher, me and Corey's. But it was even weirder though, was because he was their teacher, but his wife was in Brad's class that he taught. So that's why it's his wife down there and everything too. But like he was like, when he was their teacher, he was like a very like first year teacher, step 2, and she was a senior. So maybe, I don't know, but they met obviously while they were teaching and everything, and then like later on, that's his wife. They have a family down in Corden, and yeah, they went like he taught her.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. But I think he was just like a young, like 20, when she was 18, senior, he was just a young teacher, and he was teaching those kids. And so I think that's how it developed. I don't know how old, I don't know how much the difference is, the age difference, but I think it was, he was young and she was older, high school.
And they got together right after she got out of high school?
I don't know if like, I don't know this for a fact, but I just know that like she was in Brad's class and he taught Brad and everything. So.
Are they still married?
Yeah, still married, got family. They're happily together. So
all right, yeah, I guess.
I mean, they're both in their early 50s. She's probably in her late 40s, or he's early 50s probably then, something like that.
Maybe they just met at a bar years later.
I don't know. Like it was like my mom made that clear when we were down there younger. Like she pointed it out, like to it, like how we always kind of knew, and like she never really said, tell this to everybody. She goes like, we never really went like to school.
And now it's on the internet.
Well, I mean, this has been like, obviously everybody knows he's probably retired by now. I don't know. He might be, and I haven't really kept tabs with him. I guess I haven't said his name, but whatever. But yeah, he's just a teacher there. They, I don't know if they're together in high school, if they met after, but it's just kind of a weird coincidence. I always thought that was kind of a funny one. Like, but we never went to school like looking at going, make fun, but we never did that or nothing. We could have.
We could have.
But we did something else to his name, but I won't say that because it's his name.
Yeah.
That's
probably smart.
Yeah. But
amnesty.
What?
The amnesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good ones though. A lot of good funny, different, stupid-ass teachers. It was fun.
That was the one bad interaction I had. I had a teacher in 5th grade who used to like have bad anger issues. He was like, he had to have been like 35 or something, and he was not a big dude. He was super thin, tiny, like thin, short, and he had just rage burning in his soul. Because whenever somebody, like, kids do annoying shit, like it's part of being a kid, but it's whenever some kid was being annoying, dude, he would freak out to the point where he would like slam a desk on the ground, kick one, throw a trash can across the fucking room.
This is it.
Yeah, so he did that, and like I respond to that because my mother, that's how I was raised, with that kind of yelling.
Jump up,
you jump up, you do it now. Yeah, so I was used to it. So I was like, okay, no more just school hangout, whatever. It was, I'm paying attention because this is scary. And there was a class connecting, so it was like one of our walls was the partition to the next class. And he'd throw trash cans against this wall, and that teacher never came over and like checked on anybody. Had to have heard him screaming, you throwing stuff against that wall, and nothing. Not a, hey, everything okay in here? Not a resource officer. Could have been beating the hell out of one of us, and nothing would have happened. But he was a great teacher. Like, I which is weird looking back. That should have been a bad teacher too, but I had fun.
You know, like we had some like rough teachers, and they were probably the best teachers I've ever had. You know, they're great. I remember like I really did push that limit of like, you can't touch me, you can't hit me. Yeah, I learned it early on in life, and I fucked with people a lot. Like, I did.
That's who you want to hit the most.
Yeah, and like I was that kid. Like, I don't know, like when I was at I was at Walmart one time with my uncle, you know, and like I said one something or whatever. He goes, no, come on, let's go. And I just looked at him. I was like, stranger danger. And I looked at him, and he just went, don't. Yeah, it was like, and I kind of like learned that early on that you can fuck people being a kid. I don't know why, but
my god,
I just kind of like idolized like stranger danger. Yeah, I was just like, look, I'm stranger danger. He went, don't, you know, like, and I was like,
don't dare.
Yeah, hey, but
I don't think you could do that today.
Yeah, but then like I remember like this one teacher I had, I just kept going like, oh, you can't touch your stuff, and then he grabbed me by my shirt and started ripping me out of the room, and he dragged me clear up to like the principal, and the whole time I was like, you're not supposed to be touching me, you're not supposed to be touching me, you know. And he goes, I'm not, I'm holding your shirt, and he just kept dragging me out there. He had it, he was done, and there was like, he threw me up into the principal.
Oh man,
I was just, I don't know, like I like those kids growing up. Like I idolized like the movie like Problem Child. I like being that dick kid for some reason. Just, like I learned early on that you could do that.
So you just fucked with people while you were in school?
Yeah, like I don't know, and I guess like looking back, it was a smart thing to do. Like learning that like it's just a slap on the wrist that you're 18.
For most things, yeah.
I cashed that ticket into the fullest. Like I did, yeah. I got all that shit expunged when I was 18. Nobody ever knew.
Oh my god.
Cashed out, yeah.
Wow. Tell me your hotel story.
Where we broke into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was one. Okay, so there's an alleyway by the laundromat. We used to go by, and we'd smoke in there. We'd sneak in there because we'd hide in there, and the cops couldn't see us or anything. We'd just sneak in there and have our cigarettes. Well, there was a door back there, and anyway, we're all standing back there, kind of hidden and everything. There's a door just sitting there. We're all just kind of joking and stuff. And I was like, I can kick that door in. Everybody's like, nah, you can't kick that door. I'm like, hell yeah, I can. So anyway, it was just kind of his friends things. Like, yeah.
How old are you?
Ooh. 15, 16.
Okay.
Somewhere in there, probably. And anyway, so it was back and forth. And finally, I was like, for some reason, I was like, FBI. And I kicked the door, and then like it like just swung open, busted clean off the deal. And like we all looked at each other like, oh my God. And we're like, go. So we like ran into this deal, and it was always like this abandoned hotel on where we lived in the small town. And it was just always just run down and shit. So we went in there, and some guy was just like renovating it and stuff too, but he wasn't there. Like, he must have been like coming in town or something like that. But we went in there and just completely vandalized this place. For some reason, we were just kids, and we were just like, go for it. And so yeah, we went in there and we saw this stuff. We did like stupid ass stuff. Like we found super glue. We like glued his boots to the wall. Glued it, like there was the bed. They glued the sheets to the bed, and like did like pillows down. Just being dicks. And anyway, like I don't remember if I don't think I took anything. There's a couple people who took some like tools on the way out and stuff like that, whatever. But it was just more about going there and busting there, and then we just beat the shit out of it and then left because there's just nothing to do in that town. And then we just kicked in that door and we're like, cool, something to do for a half hour. Let's cry. Yeah, and I don't know. We just always did stupid shit like that. It was just kind of like, funny, I guess, looking back as a kid.
There was one of my friends accidentally caused a clubhouse to burn down in the woods. We were out there and we found this because it was a paintball field behind one of my friend's houses. There's this cornfields and then a patch of woods in between the cornfields. We're like, let's go down there and we can play paintball. So we just gotten these paintball guns over the summer and we're down there and there was other kids had built a paintball fort, like put paths in and built ramps. So we played on that fort or on that field for like a week in the woods. Nobody was messing with us. It was fine. It was like 3 of us. And we showed it to all of our friends and then we're exploring back there and like 100 yards back farther in the woods is this 2-story clubhouse just built on the ground. They cleared the trees out of there and it's kids that have done this in the middle of the woods however long ago. It didn't look old. There was a recliner inside on the bottom floor and bunk beds with layers of blankets. You could take.
Oh, it was like they did work.
They put in work. It was
shanty.
It wasn't shanty. It was 2 stories. There was one and then a ladder you can go up to the other story and it was made of wood. Like it was like plywood on the outside but then just 4x4s and 2x4s and like hobbled together to make a pretty sweet fort. So we used to go down there and we were going to we had a campfire down there and it was the middle of the day and it was a few of my friends. There was 3 friends down there, me, my friend James, and Scotty. And we wanted to, we were going to cook over the campfire because we were bored. It was the middle of summer. There was nothing fucking to do. Yeah, middle of the afternoon, our friend Chris couldn't come and hang out with us, and it was, he usually does. So when he was
like back at his house.
Yeah, it was like behind his house, and it was, we always like ran in together. We were like 16, 17, and we all lived within like a 2-block radius. So we were always hanging out together. So he wasn't there, so we were just fucking around in the woods. And we lit the fire, and then we're like, all right, we should have waited because now we have to go to the store to get food to cook over the fire, which is
step 1 done.
Yeah. So me and Scotty go up to the car, so we're walking back through the cornfields, and James is picking up, getting everything put back together, and we're like, all right, put the fire out, here's the water, you're good, put the fire out, meet us up at the car, and we'll go to the store. He comes up about 5 minutes later, gets in the car, we go to the store. The store is 3 miles away. Excuse me. It's 3 miles away. And we're in the store, we're checking out, and Chris calls us. And he's like, did you guys set the forest on fire? We're like, what? And he's like, the forest behind my house is on fire. We're like, no, James, you put the fire out, didn't you? He goes, yeah, man, I put the fire out. So we're like, all right, well, we're on our way back. So we drive back there, and as soon as we turn out of the parking lot, we just see smoke up in the sky. Like,
big old fire.
Oh, no. And so we get to his house, and the fire truck is driving through the cornfield. There's no
people
corn growing
outside.
Yeah, people. This isn't a small one you can hurry and run down there and put out. They've called the professionals in to put this out. And so as we're pulling up, the fire truck's driving through the cornfield to the woods to put this thing out. And we're going to ask James, what the hell happened? You put the fire out.
You said.
And this guy... He put one of the extra pieces of plywood over the fire pit and assumed that would smother it. And what
add more wood to the fire, it would choke it out.
So the fire, it was like a hole that you put the fire in, and then you're
just
good.
A ring with lid.
Yeah. And so he put this fucking this thing over the hole in the ground that had the fire in it, and all it did was heat the board up and then catch it out. But it was long enough that it touched the fucking clubhouse, so it burned all the way down, burned that entire clubhouse to the ground. All of it. It was ashes. There was nothing left.
These poor kids put fucking years into this clubhouse.
So
burned it down in minutes.
Yeah, we might have discovered it in maybe a month. Maybe a month. It was like no later than the end of June. We were out of school for a month, and so naturally we didn't go play paintball for the rest of the summer because
I wouldn't go anywhere near there.
So the end of the summer, it's fall at this point. We're back in school, and there's no leaves on the trees, so it's just clear. So we walk back there to see to see what that fire had caused. And on one of the trees, it's just ash everywhere. Everything is burned out. The ash is still there. And on one of the trees is a piece of paper nailed to the tree with a picture of the clubhouse, and it was a note from the builders of the clubhouse. And it was like,
I knew you'd come.
it was like, Clubhouse, you were awesome and a great build with friends until those assholes found you.
Did you keep the picture?
No, we didn't keep the picture. We already felt bad enough. We ruined this childhood kids. They had to have been almost adults because it was not bad.
We said like recliners.
Yeah, there was a recliner.
I'm not thinking no like 10-year-olds.
Yeah, no 10-year-olds doing that, and I doubt they were out there.
Yeah, second floor's nailing.
Yeah, they definitely chopped down some small sapling trees to get this thing cleared out. It was really nice while it was around.
Landscaping work before, It
was awesome while it existed. It was the best month-long clubhouse I've ever discovered. Yeah, so that's the story how my friend burned down the clubhouse on accident.
That's a dick move.
Yes.
I mean, I'm guilty. I've done a lot of times. Yeah, I'm there with you. I had the moment and stuff. So yeah, we did that, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those regret-ish things.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't regret it because I didn't cause the fire. I left the very simple job to him.
Yeah.
He just didn't. The schools didn't teach him about proper fire safety.
Well, it's like, why would you choke the fire out with more wood? Why would you do that?
The schools failed him. You know what's really bad? He took welding that year.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
This man is like around even power tools in general, but I know. Wait. The next year he took welding?
No, he took welding that year. So this was the summer between 9th and 10th grade. So he took welding in 9th grade.
I gotcha.
So he should have known, but they didn't teach him that in school.
No. Nope. But I mean, accidents happen. We actually burned down a house. We burned one down. It was an abandoned house, and it was just accidental. We were sitting there.
How do you accidentally burn down a house?
Well, we just accidentally burned down a house one time. It's like we were out in the small town living again, just trying to find a place to drink beer and hang out and, I don't know, party. And so there's an abandoned old farmhouse out on gravel road. And anyway, we went over there and no power, no nothing there. Like, there's a couple like plates in the dish, or plates in the cupboards and stuff, but it's like pretty much just like all just gone and everything run down. And anyway, there's a metal trash can there. We started like a bum fire just there, like we're all drinking. We just had like just put fire
inside
in the
house.
Yeah, inside the house. Yeah, we were sitting there partying and everything too. And night came over, and anyway, I think one of my buddies like kicked it over. It's like, yeah, it's done. It was just like smoldering out, and we just like left. And like nobody checked out. Well, I was hammered, I know. It's like I was like not even thinking, oh yeah, stuff like that. And anyway, this is like the next day. I woke up and I was staying at my buddy's house down that gravel road, whatever. He lived farther over in like a trailer court and stuff too. We woke up. There's like a big old cloud of smoke and everything. We like looked at each other like, oh no, type thing. And we drove up there, and sure enough, the thing was just like burned to the foundation and stuff. They had fire trucks there, but I don't even think they really attempted it because they're just like, it's just an abandoned. Like somebody just burned this maybe for insurance fraud or some shit. I don't know. So they just like let it go. Anyway, but yeah, we accidentally
kicked over a barrel.
Well, like me, like it was not an accidental. Like it was just I don't even think he even meant to like kick it over like that. I think he was like or whatever and like roll. I don't know if he. Like I said, I was a little intoxicated, so at that tail end of it, I just knew that wasn't my job, and I left. And I said it was like burnt down. I was like, oh, this is all an accident. We just totally fucked up.
Oh my god! I almost blew myself up at a party once. Recently, no, not recently. I'd say like 5-6 years ago, something like that. I was at a bonfire at my friend's brother's house, and they had a metal pool, like the farmer metal pools.
Yeah,
just
like
giant pools
a cattle trough.
Yeah, but it was a giant pool-shaped round pool, completely metal. So you just push this thing around, fill it with water, pool.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't swim in it. It's just a metal hole of water. Anyway, what they did is they pushed this thing out to the middle of the field, and then they just threw a bunch of logs in it and left it there. Well, it had rained a couple nights before, so we needed gas to start it on fire. And they had their gas can was the metal one with like the clamp. Yeah. and it didn't.
Sketchy.
Yeah, it's sketchy. So, and I like to start a fire, so I wanted to start it. So we're drinking, and it's time to start the fire. So I dump a bunch of gasoline on it and light it, and the gasoline burns, but the wood's wet. So as it's smoldering down, I'm taking this clamp thing and I'm right, and it's all fine and good, and I did one of the gasoline went up and landed, came fire just all the way up onto the gas can that I'm now holding, and like it's on the lid, and I'm panicking, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. That's a liquid. I can't just pass it
Smother
up.
that.
Yeah, I can't smother it. So I'm like, let go of the clamp, boom. So that should smother the inside of it, and this is all in a matter of like 3 seconds, because I'm like, this whole can's gonna blow, and it's made of metal, and it's gonna just boom, shrapnel, it's gonna ruin the fucking party. So I set it down like, everybody, that's about to explode. Get as far back as you can. I don't remember who it was. It was probably Scotty, but I don't
Back it up, everybody.
yeah, and it was super calm. I'm like, set it down. Everyone, this is going to explode. I can't explain it. Please evacuate the premises, and then we'll deal with the aftermath.
I will explain later.
Yeah, we don't have time for explanations right now. So I think it was...
You want to say that's your
Yeah, I have warned everybody. I've done my part. I may have caused the problem, but I also offered a solution.
I am
Fuck
leaving
you.
this.
So one of my friends, I do this, and he sees the flame on the lid that's closed, and it's just still flaming. He just goes over there, and fucking Scotty like clamps it and goes smack and puts the whole thing out. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
You manly man. You.
No shit. Yeah, so that's the time I almost blew up a party.
That'd be a bummer.
He was out in the field though, so I mean, there wouldn't have been that much damage as long as you avoid the pointy spikes of death.
You just throw aerosol cans and fire stuff?
No.
What?
Why?
Wow, there again, small town shit. I don't know. We always said I just started fires or stuff, but like, yeah, throw aerosol cans in there, like get back, wait for them to like blow up, or like even better, like throw them out there and while they're in the fire, shoot them, and they'll explode and flame up everywhere.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the one time we actually set my grandma's field on fire. Yeah, that was a bad one. And it all could have been solved
By not doing it?
Well, yeah, and then other reasons, but yes, like so.
What?
Yeah, I'll go explain. So we were out there again, just shooting guns and starting just fucking around fire and stuff, and out of my grandma's field there, and we taped some matches to a WD-40 can, like lit it on fire, and then we got back.
Some what?
Like a WD-40 can, like something like that, and we just put matches on the outside.
Oh, okay, matches. I didn't hear
books and matches. Yeah, and we just taped it on there, and we lit it, and we got back and shot it, just poof, like they just made a big old poof of fireball and shit, like cool. And the flames got on the like dry grass and started just catching going, like, oh, cool, oh shit, you know, and then like, oh my
cool
god,
shit.
yeah, and then I was like, wow, this is actually really going. So then we just hurried up. We were all like starting to stomp it out and stuff too, and it was small, but it was like growing pretty quick, and we were all trying to stomp it out and stuff too. So then we started all just pissing on this fire. I pulled mine out. I started pissing on it immediately, trying to put it out.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, like we there's just
use what you can.
Yeah, like we didn't have any water with us, so I just pulled out and started pissing and stuff too. And like me, my brother, one of our friends, there was 4 of us out there with us, but then my other buddy too, he started pissing on it, and then our one last buddy, this fire could have been done with, and he just couldn't piss, and we still make fun of him to this day, like, cause like he goes, I can't go, and everything too, and we were just like, just go, where he goes, I can't, like just look at everything too, and like we're all just trying to pat it down, and then finally like it caught back on fire, and it kept going, we're like, fuck it, you know, and yeah, it's like
It'll take care of itself.
then it started like really growing. No, so we hurried up, like ran up to my grandma's house. I was actually kind of laughing because I was like, all right, well, we can just call the fire department, you know, they come out here and shit.
This is what they're paid to do.
Yeah, so I run up there and shit. And so my grandma, we're like, oh yeah, so the field's on fire. So we gotta call the fire department and everything. Like, what? And then my grandma, she started giggling because she just knew we were just back to the fire. We called the fire department. They came out there and yeah, they had put it out and stuff. Like the field caught pretty good on fire and stuff. But we went out there, they put it out and stuff. And that, but we're all like laughing and stuff because we're like, well, oops, you know. What were you guys doing? Like, oh, I was playing with some matches, you know. Just,
You know,
We're being kids.
whoops. I seen something there. You remember you were telling me the other day about that European guy who lost 200 million in Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. I seen an article about him today.
Did you?
Yes. 210 million euro.
Oh, Europe. So it was
Euro.
Okay.
On a hard drive he threw away in 2013. And he is asking the city that he lived in if he can have permission to dig through the landfill to find it.
That's desperate, Bobby.
That
That's
was-
a lot of money, though.
Yeah, 2013, that was 8 years ago now. And he's going to dig through a landfill.
8 years of layers.
I mean, yeah, that's a lot of trash. But
Yeah, but you
even
think they'd have different departments? But I
even
don't
then, that's
know.
probably. I'm
That's
sure there's like
bullshit.
an I'd like to think that.
Yeah, I think
but I don't know if they're actually sorting it. You throw it in just the normal trash. Say this guy didn't recycle. It's just gonna go with the normal trash.
Yeah, but even like the landfill, they got like, the shingles, and they got the paper, and then they.
Yeah, but don't you have to label it, and that's how it goes to those piles?
Well, it depends, I guess.
'Cause I just don't see them sifting through trash.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who's dumping. I guess so too. Because I know, like when we go there, we just go in there where they weigh us. We can back up to the trailer, or anything in there, we just dump in there.
I think it was like the
Take it
city
off.
dump, like he just threw it away. So he wants to go and dig through the landfill. So he's petitioning that city, I don't remember the name of the city, to give him permission. It's like hazmat safety or something along that lines, because he's wanting to dig through trash.
Yeah.
But it's 210 million euro. If I knew for sure I threw it away and I knew what city, I can't say I wouldn't try.
But at the same time, the city would never allow it.
Yeah, I don't think the city will allow him.
No, because we're like, also because they're gonna be like, we're not gonna stop production so you can sift through everything, like we gotta keep working.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's your
Well,
loss.
I assume there's like
Different spots.
yeah, I think they move it and bury it in certain
Yeah.
areas. So I'm sure if they have records, I'm sure they do. We buried it here this year. This year we did it that. Assuming they change it every year.
Does that cause sequels? I thought that was that an issue?
No, sinkholes are so like I think it's just loose sediment dirt
Yeah.
in between clay layers or something, and then when we get like heavy rains, it pulls down that sedimentary dirt into the clay, something like that, and then it just leaves this cavity, and then it's just with more rainwater, the dirt gets heavier because it's wet now, and then it causes just that cavity to break, and that's the sinkhole.
Yeah, but I didn't know if like
I think. I'm stupid.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm not qualified in any of this. This is not by any means factual. I just thought I always didn't know if that was a wise tale or not. So like the landfills, I said they bury them and everything. They make big hills and stuff and parks or whatever too after it and stuff. It's all buried there. But let's say you got like a 87 Pinto underneath there buried, and it's just slowly decaying. And then
Cars are different, I think. They don't bury cars, do they?
Yeah, I'm just saying like trash. I'm just saying I
Yeah.
didn't know if like just eventually they caved in anything in there.
Well, I think most of it is the hopes that it just degrades.
back, clear down.
At the very least, slowly
I didn't
goes
know.
down.
I didn't know that was no wise tale or not, I guess.
I would think. But yeah, I seen that article about that
Like
guy.
just buried razor shit that finally just like slams in with it. Like, I think that shift.
What was this? Sinkholes are terrifying. I won't lie. I think about them at least once a week.
I always think of the Corvette Museum. They got,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Dude.
That Corvette
It's a
millions.
video of this museum of Corvettes, and it just swallows them. It's just
Yeah,
you see,
sinkholes.
you think it's like an earthquake or something because it rumbles and then just
Yeah, down in there. Boom.
terrifying.
Yeah, I'd be so pissed. I mean, I would like to say they're insured, but that's a lot.
said sinkholes? I mean, earthquake, I assume,
Natural.
hopefully. But I mean, when we had that earthquake in Iowa, I don't think a lot of people had earthquake insurance.
I don't know. There's different stipulations for insurance and everything, though. I don't know.
Did you feel that earthquake?
Like when we had the earthquake, like years ago.
Yeah, it couldn't have been longer than 5 years ago.
I was working at Hy-Vee. I was a security guard at Hy-Vee when
Yeah.
it happened. Yeah, because I remember like it was just I was in the comm room like downstairs and everything too, watching all the cameras. And I didn't really feel it myself, but I saw like everything like on the cameras shift and sway. And I had people like come in, like a coworker came in and said it too. And he goes, did you feel like, was that like, did you feel anything? I was like, nah, like nothing like that. And he goes, stuff was just kind of like, and then we like looked, and then we like looked it up and was like, we had an earthquake. We're like, we had an earthquake like in Iowa type thing. Like, all right.
It was a Saturday morning because I had to work, and so where I worked, I had to do Friday night until like 9, and I had to be back at 7 a.m. on Saturday. And I, mid-20s, 25, something like that. I know it wasn't longer than 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I was naturally up all night and drinking with my friends, and got like 3 hours of sleep. So I go into work, and I'm on the 4th floor, and I just sit down at my desk. I'm ready to work. I've had my Red Bull. I am a functioning 25-year-old.
Let's go.
Yeah, I am ready. Let's do this. I can rally here. We're good because 25 is still young. So I sit down, and the guy sitting in front of me goes, "Do you feel that?" And I just feel a sway. And I'm on the 4th floor, and I turn around, and the blinds are just, and the building really starts to move. I'm like, nope. Lock my computer, walk outside, and just wait for the building to evacuate. I'm like, the building's moving. And they told us we need to go back inside because it's over. And I was like,
I'm going to give it 10.
nah, I'm going to wait. I just want to see how that building's going to stand because I don't think they build buildings to earthquake specifications.
Around here?
Iowa. But no, it's fun.
Yeah, I've heard of aftershocks. I ain't going back under.
Yeah, so it was, and then it came out on the news. Yeah, that was the aftershock.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, in like Oregon or Oklahoma.
One, yeah.
Oklahoma, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah, it's something you don't see normally in Iowa. It's just kind of a weird deal.
Earthquake.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
I wouldn't think about that ever. I never.
Oh, there again, like the derecho. It's like a whole other.
Yeah, the hurricane.
Yeah, just like blowing straight through. Oh my god, that was terrifying.
Dude, giant trees just destroyed.
Yeah.
The dude next to you lost his trampoline in his neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Took out his fence.
Yeah, I remember I walked, I went up to Comigo there, and it started getting bad, really dark and windy. I thought it was a storm coming in, and we're like, all right, let's hurry up and go get cigarettes and like beer, whatever, or something for the shop for later on. Thought it was just going to get shitty and rainy. And I got up there, I just drove up there by myself and stuff, and the wind started really blowing and shit. I'm like, oh hell, and I literally got to the door, and like the wind was just howling, blowing, and I was like kind of grabbing shit, and I grabbed the door and I opened it, and I like looked at, and the fucking the Come and Go roof like whipped, kind of went down like that, and the AC thing, the AC deal like came down, whatever, and the water started coming down, and like that's where I said like I got panicked a little bit because I got in there.
The roof's gonna come
like
off.
we're in Come and Go, and like the roof like flipped down and everything too, did like a whip, and the wind started blowing really good. I remember the cashier was like, go to the bathroom, everybody go into the bathroom, and there's like quite a few people going to the bathroom. I'm like, no, like I'm not
like, dying in there.
I'm not dying in that shitter full of like 16 people. I ain't doing it.
That's not how I'm going out.
So I was like, no. Like I stood back, and I was like, got into the store, and there's a couple other guys out of the store just kind of like watching the wind blow and shit. Like, all right, it started like letting down a little bit. So the gusts started dying down just for a quick second. I just jumped in the truck. It's like, well, you guys have a good one. And like the computers were down, and we go to this Come and Go every day to step 2, and I had a box of beer and cigarettes step 2. I was like, hey, can I, Samantha, and I was like, I looked there, I was like, hey, can I? She goes, yeah, just come, get you later. Cool. I was like, right out there, and got in the truck, and I just bust ass back to the shop, which wasn't far from the Come and Go. And then when I got back, it just got really windy, blowy, shitty, and stuff. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember watching that storm.
It was so bad.
Insane.
Yeah, and then later on.
And they tried to say it happens every 10 years, but
I've never heard the term derecho.
I remember thinking during the storm is, I wonder what they're going to name this kind of storm.
Yeah, this is
I never heard of a derecho before. Maybe it's because I'm ignorant, but even I've never seen a storm like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was one, I guess, when I was in 3rd grade, but it wasn't as windy as that. It was just a lot of rain. But that was fucking insane.
I feel like there's a lot of just new terms come out this year.
What was the one for Winter Vortex. Yeah, that was a...
Oh no, there was a winter squall.
Yeah, in the polar vortex.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
I heard that there was a winter squall or something like that. Like they even sent on we got a text message, a winter squall. I'm like, I've never heard saying.
What's a squall? I never had a squall drill in school. What is a winter squall?
It must be bad. I'm getting like an Amber Alert to my phone saying that like weather is bad. I'm like, all right.
So, my friend James sent me something last night. It's from Google, and it sounds very futuristic. Google can now... They're working on something where they can make 2D and 3D animations of you to sound like you and talk like you by analyzing any texts you've sent, any Google search you've used, anything you've posted, just how you talk, how you type, what stuff you like, what do you talk like, all those little things. And then by doing videos, taking videos of like how you look, excuse me, of how you look on like videos or how you talk in like game lobbies that you've recorded, anything about you on the internet that they can find, your mannerisms, all that like that. And then even after you're dead, build a chat bot so somebody can talk to you and it would act just like you at that point that they took the scan, and they can make 2D, 3D like hologram things, animations, so then they can add that with the voice and it's like you're actually there talking to them.
When your buddy never dies.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's kind of scary, but it's also really cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like in Shaun of the Dead. Just hang out with his buddy. Can't let him go.
That was the second best zombie movie I've ever seen.
What's your first favorite zombie?
You won't like it because it's subtitles. But
Yeah.
Train to Busan, yeah, it is the best zombie movie I've seen.
Thank you. You told me about that with the Is it in the apartment?
Yeah, no, that's alive. This one, Train to Busan, is it's Korea, and it starts with like this deer gets out and it's infected. I'm not going to ruin the movie for you. But this deer gets out and it's infected, and something causes it to spread into this city. And this guy is trying to take his daughter via train to Wuhan, or not to Wuhan, to Busan, and get her to her mom's because he's taken back. And as they get on the train, somebody who's infected gets on the train, and then zombie movie. But it is great. It's not like Resident Evil. It's not like World War Z. What is a zombie movie? It's fucking awesome, man. Check it out. Train to Busan. You got to read the whole time, but or learn Korean, whichever way you want. Whichever way you want to go.
Push your boat. Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know if you want to read for an hour and a half. It's great. But the other one I was talking about was Alive, and that's the one where he's in an apartment and like the zombie outbreak, and it's another. I think it's Korea or Japan, somewhere like that, where they have all the apartments like stacked up on top of each other, like, and it's just apartments as far as you can see, and it's subtitles too. You got to read that. But it's zombie apocalypse starts, and this dude's just trapped in his apartment, and his parents aren't home. He's like 18, 19. His parents aren't home, but he's a gamer, so he doesn't notice for like the first 2 days, and then he does notice, and he has to figure out how to get supplies and like live. And he ends up seeing this girl that lives directly across from him, so like they make signs and talk to each other that way. It's pretty good too, but Train to Busan's way better. It's on Netflix. Netflix, you can sponsor me next time. Netflix.
I don't know. Pretty early.
Yeah. No, episode 1 pops off.
Right off the bat there. Sponsors.
Yeah. I think we did all right. Yeah. Doesn't look bad.
Yeah. First go around.
We'll make some improvements, see what's going on. Cool. Well, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun. Did you have fun?
It was all right.
All right.
Bullshit, I guess.
I think that's what the world needs. I'm so full of shit. Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah.